Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, on the episode here, Fast Break live for IE Sports Radio, I want to talk to y'all for the last 8 years of the company. For the last 8 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. All the while, we've been continuing to be by the fans, for the fans, and with your help, we're ready to take the next step. When you go to our website, iSportsRadio.com, you'll see our Patreon link with 5 different tiers. The first one started is $5 a month. This donation gives you shout-outs on all 32 of our shows. Higher tiers include IE Sports Radio merchandise, access to our podcasting university, even a chance to be featured on our flagship show to define a moment. Thank you all very much for continuing to make IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all his sports. I want to shout out for our Patreon members, Barry Rays, Marcus, Los, Great, Keeps the Gate, and Anonymous. Thank you all very much for making IE Sports Radio special, and here's many more years to come. Now to the show. On tonight's broadcast, we'll discuss NBA playoff action. Can the Lakers tomorrow night take a 3-1 lead over the Warriors and have the advantage to close out Game 6 or 5? Plus, Jimmy Butler back in the lineup for the Heat. Is he the key for the Heat to beat the Knicks, or do the Knicks have more dogfight in them? The Sixers won a last-second shot by James Harden. The series tied up at 2-2. Can a motivated James Harden help carry the Sixers a series win over the Celtics? And plus, with Chris Paul out for the Phoenix Suns, do they have any shot of being the Denver Nuggets tonight? We'll discuss that and much more here on Fast Break Live on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all his sports, and you're welcome to join us. Join us as you shout out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to talk about, lots to discuss here on the interwebs tonight. Lots of good playoff action going on. Coincidentally, I saw something on Twitter. The bubble teams that made the Eastern Conference Finals years ago, back in the 2020 pandemic, at that time I saw the tweet, the Celtics, Lakers, Heat, Nuggets are up in their series. Now, granted, Boston's tied with Philly now, Lakers up 2-1, Denver's up 2-1, and Heat 2-1. But we'll see how that thing shake out. But it's kind of odd seeing that right there. But, D-Lock, how you doing tonight, sir?
Everything is going pretty well, man. Great playoffs going on. You can hear me very well, right? I'm trying out my new iPad, my AirPods. So I want to make sure you can hear me.
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, man. This is good. We got a Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns game going on right now. We just got off a very good game between Boston and Philly. So I'm enjoying this moment right now for the NBA.
Let's talk about this Philly Celtics game that happened today. They win 115 in OT. James Harden with the last second shot over Jaylen Brown to tie the series at 2-2. James Harden has woken up and helped lead his team along with Joel Embiid. 42 points for James Harden. 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 6 for 9 for three-point land. Great shooting day for him. So, I'm going to ask you this, D-Lock. James Harden came out great on game one without Joel Embiid due to the knee issue. Played great, carried Philly for that great game one win. Game two, Joel comes back. Harden just wasn't all there. Kind of motivated and playing high to the extent James Harden propelled the Sixers a series win over the Celtics? Or do you think the Celtics can withstand that and kind of win the series?
I think that the Celtics have. We've seen the Celtics all year long look like that team that were expected to be pushing for the NBA Finals. So I think they will be a hard team for anybody to beat between Philly, the Knicks, or Miami. The only thing I said, like I said prior to the show, is you usually would think that they have a lot of depth on their roster, but with their bench. But you're looking at Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and Malcolm Brogdon as their bench player. And I think that they rely a lot on the starting five of Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Jason Tatum, to get the job done. So for me, my thing, like I said, this team is going to be very good. They will continue to be very good. But they have a good matchup between them and Philly. James Harden being the MVP at some point, and now recently Joel Embiid being the MVP. I think this team is going to be something to deal with, but I think it is going to come down to coaching. But this game alone, very close game in Philly. Boston has a chance to go up 3-1, but obviously Philly can't have that. I think that when Embiid is going to have one of his games, the way he goes crazy, it's going to happen at some point. But for me, I think Boston is going to end up taking this. I think what's going to happen is Boston is going to be set up to win this series. And all it's going to take is for them to get things right, the right game. You're looking at 2-2 right now. They're going to end up getting 2 games. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I definitely think that Boston's going to take this 4 games. I think they're going to close out at Boston, in my opinion.
I think for me, it's just like seeing James Harden, his scoring, stuff like that, kind of, it just kind of eases things for the Sixers. And I was like, if he's playing well, I mean, they winning. I mean, that's how I see it. Now, we talked before the show, like, their bench is very concerning. It's like, nobody's really giving you no help there. But, such is life of the playoffs. You're going to have to play heavy minutes, but it's just like, when he's motivated and ready to go and, on repetition and stuff like that, scoring wise and all that stuff, I mean, sky's the limit for this Philly team. The sky's the limit. I just wish he sees that at times and take advantage of that. But great game for him, great game for him and for Embiid. I think at this point, I don't know about you, but I think I kind of wash my hands with Tobias Harris. To kind of really do something scoring wise because he's getting paid all that money. It is what it is with him. I do want to shout out PJ Tucker in this instance. He has said in an interview here recently that I can't put my team in a disadvantage if I don't shoot. And I think we talked about on the show before, like, damn, PJ Tucker giving you a goose egg scoring wise. And I think it's good to see him recognize his situation and score more. I mean, shoot the ball a little bit more. So I think, smart for Phil, him to recognize it and trying to, just help in wherever you can. I'm going to ask you, to shoot, had score 18 points and go, 3 for 5 for 3-point land. Nobody really asking for all that for PJ Tucker, but you chip in every once in a while. I mean, that'd be awesome. I look at the Boston side of things real quick. Brogdon out the bench had a great game. We discussed before the show about that low post presence scoring wise, because defensively, Al Horford, Robert Williams, Grant Williams, I think the consensus that's good enough in the playoffs in an 8-man rotation that's enough defensively down low to kind of stop who you're regarding. I mean, down low like Joel Embiid, if they happen to be matched up in Miami next round, something like that, or the Knicks, Julius Randle, you got some guys that can defend those type of dudes. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, you get my point. But let me ask you this, when we discussed it, before the show, is the lack of scoring down low concerning to you for Boston? Because Horford, he don't play down low. Grant Williams, he's just a garbage player. A very nice one to have in your lineup, but he's not giving you buckets like Anthony Davis down low. Is that concerning to you if in Boston eyes if they're going to win this series?
For me, honestly, with any other team, it would be. But having that Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and trading for Malcolm Brogdon, which is the main reason, scoring down low isn't a big issue for me. I mean, right now, you're probably going to run into a Joel Embiid this series who's going to give you problems with anybody down low to get buckets. Outside of that, you're looking between Bam, who could be an issue, and Mitchell Robinson. But you got all these guards and forwards that can put up the amount of points that you want. So, for me, it's not a big deal, man. I mean, honestly, usually we'll say, well, hell, they need to put up some points in the paint. But this team has a lot of guards, man, scoring guards at that. I mean, we talked about it last year with Marcus Smart. Like, we know Marcus Smart is more so of a defender.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Gary Payton, who we know as the glove, and Pro gave him presented the actual defensive player of the year to him last year. So we know what he is. And the biggest issue with them playing against the Warriors is they couldn't score off the bench at all. So now you got somebody who can come in, play defense, and score. And also, you can't foul Brogdon because I believe he's like above 90% at the free throw line. So now that you got that, Boston is built to score, with their guards and forwards. So it's not really too much of a big bother for me. The only thing that bothers me about them is I would love to see Robert Williams get more minutes than Al Horford.
You think so?
Yes. I mean, for me, because what is Al Horford bringing? He's probably going to bring some shots, but you don't need. You're big with that team. You don't need to score as much. What you need is you probably need more so of a defender. Somebody's going to grab boards, get blocks. And Al Horford is just not that guy right now. He's not the same guy. I would get more out of Robert Williams on the defensive side. So the defensive presence is what Boston needs down low than anything. Now, obviously, Embiid is MVP, so he's going to get what he wants. We see that, even right now with Jokic against DeAndre Ayton. But you need somebody who's going to play some kind of defense for Boston down low. If they can get that, increase Robert Williams' minutes, I think they'll be okay. But it's just not. I'm not saying start Robert Williams, but just put him in when he needs to. I mean, if you're thinking about getting to the NBA Finals and facing a possible Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid, I'm sorry, not Embiid, but Jokic, you need to have a defender. And Al Horford is just not that guy at this point in his career. So you got scoring in Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart from time to time. Let them put the points up. So I just feel like Robert Williams will do better with this how they have this team set up. We will see. I'm pretty sure a lot more of that rotation moving forward. But scoring down low, not a big problem for me at this moment. I mean, they just got too many scores, too many guards that can score for them.
Yeah, yeah, because like Robert Williams only played 14 minutes in today's game. But I think for what they run, I think you got to stick with Horford still. But I see your points. Like, if you're not gonna get physical at times, if Al is not gonna not gonna get Joel in foul trouble and not like that. What are we doing here? Man, yeah, Embiid had 3 fouls, but you kind of want to get that foul trouble early and take him out the game and get him out of his flow. And Al Horford's not going to do that. Robert Williams not going to do that. Blake Griffin. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not going to go that route if they were done that already in the series.
I mean, you got to look at it like this. You look at some of them, let's just say these quick stats for Al Horford. Today he had 38 minutes. He was 3 for 9, 2 for 7 for 3-point land. 2 for 7. He finally got 7 boards. But, I mean, you already got your scores, on the court with Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Tatum. This man don't need to be shooting no damn 7 threes. He just doesn't need them. He can do that maybe off the bench, but you got Tatum who shot 6, Jaylen Brown who shot 8. These guys are going to take the threes when they want to. You just don't need him to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? With 38 minutes, give some of them minutes to Robert Williams and see what happens.
I'd rather have Al Horford shoot threes than Julius Randle. I'll say that much.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because Julius Randle just, shooting threes, coming out just jacking up 3-pointers. I was surprised Tom Thibodeau don't take him out when he does that crap. I'll have his ass sitting on the bench like that. Hey, dog. No. You got Cody Zeller guarding you. Drive the lane on his ass. But anyways, moving past this game, we're going to the other game going on live right now on TNT. Nuggets, Suns. Nuggets up 28-19. No Chris Paul in this game for the Suns.
What's up?
What do you think will happen in this game between the Suns and the Nuggets? Durant got 9 points, 8 points for Devin Booker right now. What the Suns got to do in your eyes to win this game without Chris Paul at that point guard spot?
They're gonna need Devin Booker to have one of those games. To be honest, I know Kevin Durant is who he is, but he's not a guy right now that's gonna get you 12 to 15 boards, 8 assists, and 40 points. That's not gonna happen. In my mind, I don't think that he is that person that's going to do that. So you need Devin Booker to be your lead dog. You're going to need him to cook. Cameron Payne is out there clearly, but he's not the guy that's going to go out there and go insane. So this solely sits on Devin Booker. And I think that he's going to have to be the captain of his team. He's going to have to run his team. Now you went and traded for Terrence Ross, right? You got Terrence Ross. You got a couple other guys. Play a huge part, but there and do what he do. else, man, and play.
I could barely hear you, D-Lock.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So it's the headphone. So one headphone works, another one doesn't. So, so I believe it was a series before last year, or the year before.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Denver played against each other, and literally Jokic had 20 rebounds, and DeAndre Ayton was like, "Well, damn, I didn't know he had 20 rebounds." You need DeAndre Ayton to wake up.
Yeah.
He needs to play better. I'm not saying that he needs to block any of Jokic's shots, but he needs to be more consistent. They're bringing him in. He's not doing much. Bismack Biyombo is not doing anything. These bigs have to play better on the MVP candidate. That's the only legit chance that they have. Now, Booker is going to be Booker. He's going to get his points regardless. I mean, right now he has 11 in the first quarter. Denver half of the points they have right now. But you need your other guys to step up. And that is the problem with Phoenix right now. Jock Landale, who was getting minutes, who splitting minutes with Bismack Biyombo, they got to figure this out. Monte Williams need to figure out this rotation. Because even missing a Chris Paul, you still got a Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So I need to see them kind of get into this. I love what Denver has on the start on the court and off the bench. I think a big piece clearly we see with the Denver Nuggets is Bruce Brown. He comes in and continues to bring that energy. Not only him, but Christian Braun is coming in, not necessarily making a lot of shots, but he's making the impact as well. So they got guys that they can bring in rotation, and what that does for them is they give them a hell of a lot of break for Jokic. But Phoenix needs to get going, man. They're gonna be close with them. Like I said, they still got two hell of a shooters on this team, but Denver is pretty loaded, and they're gonna have to keep this energy because if they don't, it could easily fall down 3-1. If that happens, this might be over in Denver.
I think, what we saw in the Game 3 win, Monty Williams, he played those other guys like Terrence Ross, who has scored a three-pointer. TJ Warren. Those guys that weren't getting no time beforehand, in this series or the Clippers series. And, we talked, around that time, like, okay. Got Terrence Ross there. I mean, if nothing else, he can bring scoring to you off the bench. TJ Warren, a guy, that you used to have in your organization years ago. You kind of know what he is. He can give you some good quality minutes. So it's kind of like baffling, as, Phoenix has brought it down to 2 points, 34-32 at the end of the first, but it's kind of baffling. Like, you need bench scoring, and you got a couple guys that can score for you. Because, I mean, playing Biyombo is fine, but he ain't gonna do shit else for you. I'm sorry. He ain't gonna do shit else for you. Cameron Payne, I think he's kind of key if they're gonna try and make this series to he gotta be a consistent. Not saying, take over, but be just a consistent cog right there to kind of help Phoenix along. And you're right about Aiden. It's like, if he's not motivated or whatever, or that, all that stuff, then you're gonna get what you're gonna get out of him. But I think if you get some good, nice, consistent play for Payne and Shabbat, kind of like that the run that your Orlando Magic went on years ago. when Jameer Nelson went out, and Stan Van Gundy had to depend on Skip to Malou, Rayford Austin, and Anthony Johnson, and those two guys played great in that run when the Magic went to the NBA Finals. And I'm not saying Phoenix, is a final caliber team, but you get where I'm coming from. Those two backup guards got to step up to the plate, and that's Shamet and Cameron Payne. If those two guys can have a run like Johnson and Austin, I think Phoenix can do some things, and when Chris Paul comes back, I think can really, really put your team in a good advantage. Because, Caldwell Pope on the other side, he'll have his scoring moments, but everything, the other intangibles, defense, passing, handling the ball, he's been great at that. Just look what he did in that Minnesota series. Jamal Murray didn't play great last game. He's got to have a better scoring game. Jokic is Jokic. Michael Porter Jr., he's got to kind of wake up a little bit. Granted, he had 7 rebounds, in this first quarter. Got to see more of that. So, for Phoenix, for me, the guards got to play well. Those point guards. For Denver, Murray's got to wake up. And I say this for Denver also, D-Lock. They got to put this series away as quickly as they can. Because I don't know how long this Lakers-Warriors series is going to go. But if they can get 3-1 lead and kind of put this away quickly, I think they'll go greatly in advantage of whoever they come play next round, either the Warriors or the Lakers.
That's my thing. Like, the way this series is going, it's going to be a very good series. But Denver, have that advantage. They can go ahead and close it. Honestly, I think Denver poses the biggest threat to either Golden State or LA. I think because the one thing that Golden State struggles with is centers. They struggle against them. The one thing that LA struggles with is centers. One of the things they struggle with. So Jokic being Jokic could cause big problems. And if they can get this done pretty quick, then maybe they'll be fine. But they are going against a Devin Booker and a Kevin Durant, which is a talented team, regardless having Chris Paul or not. But it just seems as if this matchup, I just love what Denver has as far as their starting 5 and their rotational players. Their energy doesn't change when they take out Jamal Murray and bring in Bruce Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's literally the same. So for me, I feel like this team is going to be one. They're going to be very tough. So now you just need, them to continue that. But Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are going to have to lead this team. But the one thing that Kevin Durant went to Phoenix for is missing, and that's that leadership on the court. Anyway, Chris Paul can lead off the court, but not being there, it plays a big part. But CP3 getting hurt at this time is no surprise. I'm pretty sure to most NBA fans, this is not a surprise at all. So now Phoenix should be prepared for this and find a way to move forward with it.
Real quick before we talk about Lakers Warriors, who you got winning tonight's game between Denver and Phoenix right now as it's ongoing second quarter going on?
I got Denver winning. I think Jokic is too much. I think the last game, they're looking at a 2-0, and they came back and had to get that win. But I think that Denver is going to wake up and take this win. I think that Jokic's entitled too much. Those rotational guys will play a big part. Cameron Payne is going to have to game his life in order to keep Phoenix close, and I don't see that happening. I think Jamal Murray is consistent, and I think that's going to play a big part in them getting this win.
I think for me, it's just like you know, I'm not gonna backtrack what I said, but I'm gonna go with Denver as well. Just because if I was them, I'll like kind of look at that Warriors Lakers series and kind of get that done, get this series done, and get as much rest as possible, and figure out my lineups and stuff I do. Whoever I play against. But the only reason I say they lose this game, if Devin Booker has a strong game like he did last game. If he has a strong game like he did last game, Devin Booker, I think man, we're talking a whole different new series. But I think Denver pulls it out, but it'll be a close one though, in my eyes. So Denver will win. I can't say a number, but they'll win in a close game against Phoenix to take the 3-1 lead. I think the series D-Lock everybody's kind of talking about in the media and stuff like that is the Lakers Warriors series. The Lakers in yesterday's game went they beat down the Warriors to go up 2-1. They win 127-97 at home against the Warriors. Anthony Davis 25 points, 13 rebounds. LeBron James, after kind of like a little slow start in the first quarter, didn't really look to score, which I think we'll just dissect here in a little bit. But the quick start from D'Angelo Russell kind of set the tone for the Lakers, and they win 127-97. 23 points for Steph Curry, 16 for Wiggins, Klay Thompson 15 points. Draymond had 2 points, 5 fouls, and a technical, along with his Green brethren, Jamarco Green, who only played like 11 minutes. What are your thoughts when you watch this game? And what are your thoughts potentially what do you see for the Lakers to do to kind of take a 3-1 lead on Monday's matchup with the Warriors? What did the Lakers got to do to kind of keep momentum going and go 3-1 against the Warriors?
So I'll get this out of the way right now. I say the biggest thing that plays a part is Draymond in foul trouble. In game one, Draymond got in foul trouble. He brings a defensive presence. In game three, you see Draymond, I think he had 5 fouls in the third quarter. That's going to be Draymond. Things are going to happen. He's going to get foul trouble from time to time. But I honestly feel like Draymond in foul trouble impacts his game big time. Because you don't have anybody that can at least try to defend Anthony Davis. Kevin Looney can't do anything with him. So Michael Green can't do anything with him. You talked about earlier with Wiseman not being there. That plays a huge part. So I wanted to address that early because, Draymond being in that foul trouble, bringing that presence, is going to impact what happens with this already small roster in the Golden State Warriors. My biggest thing that LA has to do, they got to go through their two guys, in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Those guys got to be efficient for them to move forward and get this 3-1 lead. They have another game in LA. The biggest thing also to me, as I said, is we talk about them trading for Rui Hachimura. We talk about them trading for Malik Beasley and D'Angelo Russell. But the biggest piece for this trade, for this team, has been Jared Vanderbilt. We've seen what he did with Ja Morant the first series. Made it very tough for him throughout that whole series. And he's doing literally the same thing for Steph Curry. You talk about Steph Curry, this last game was 4 for 10 at three-point land. Like, he cannot get the ball rolling. And I think that, honestly, Jared Vanderbilt is playing a huge part with that. We look at the game before, okay, Steph was 3 for 5 from 3-point land, but they had a big impression by Klay Thompson going 8 for 11 when they won that game. So for me, I think that Jared Vanderbilt being that trade piece has played a huge part. Well, hell, we can even go back to the first game. Steph was 6 for 13, 3-point land. So Vando is playing a hell of a job on Steph Curry. I think if he continued to do this come tomorrow night, I think that the Lakers could take a huge, big lead on the Warriors in this series, and they can go up 3-1. I know we talk about Anthony Davis, we talk about LeBron, D'Angelo Russell's playing extremely well, but it truly is Vanderbilt. I mean, because if you get Steph going, get Klay going, this team is hard to stop. And right now, Vando is making it pretty tough on Curry that plays for Golden State. So, for me, I think that they continue to play that defense. Now, you're not seeing too much of scoring from Vando, but you don't really need that, especially if he's chasing Steph Curry all around the court. So, you can bring that. I think they'll be fine. Anthony Davis needs to be Anthony Davis. Every time he brings a great game, pretty decent game, this team is just hard to stop. Because he's going to wake up, therefore LeBron James is going to wake up, therefore D'Angelo Russell has a great game as well. So I think that's a huge, huge thing. I remember Draymond saying before on a show of his talking about he's never seen LeBron play off ball. And now that he's seeing it, they have to make the adjustments. And it's hard to adjust when you're seeing a player like a LeBron James playing off ball and he can score when he wants. So if Anthony Davis can stay consistent, I think the Lakers will be fine. I mean, it's literally showing. He was 7 for 10 field goal, 13 rebounds, 25 points. LeBron didn't get cooked till later. But I don't think he had any points the first quarter. He woke up a little bit later. Hachimura didn't have a hell of a game, but he has his games from time to time. I think he had a good game too. So I just feel like this team needs to continue going with their rhythm. Let Vando have that defense. We finally got a chance to see a Lonnie Walker come in and do something. That was a big, big, big deal because obviously Malik Beasley just can't make a basket right now. So, you bring in a Lonnie Walker, 2 for 4, 12 points. He's going to bring a little bit of defense. I think that played a huge part, but you need to have the defense playing with these Warriors. That's going to be big. I mean, I believe the second game, if I'm not mistaken, the Warriors shot 50% from field goal and 3-point percentage. 50%. This game, yesterday, they shot 29% 3-point land, and they shot 39%. So if you can get them to stay in that range, I think the Lakers are going to be fine. You cannot give up them shooting 50% 3-point. That's entirely too efficient for that team, especially as many threes as they shoot. So, I think the Lakers might be pretty solid, especially if Anthony Davis can bring that energy and Vando can bring that defense. They're gonna be tough, man, especially for the Warriors. I think there's a good chance the Lakers take Game 4.
Yeah, I think couple things. Anthony Davis, he's got to be more assertive. Like Game 1, this past game, he's got to be more assertive if the Lakers is going, to take over this series. I mean, I don't give a damn if Jamal Green, Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, Garden, or Andrew Wiggins. You got to take advantage of that. Nobody, those 4 guys that's named out, nobody's taller than 6'8" right there, and that's Andrew Wiggins. Jamal Green 6'7", Draymond 6'6", Looney 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". But I think one thing they gotta do for the Lakers to win tomorrow night's game, Vanderbilt, like you mentioned, Vanderbilt's been playing pretty great defensively. He's got. This summer he's got to work on the outside shot because, I won't say he got a little bit of potential there to kind of be a decent shooter. He's got to work on that shot. But the potential is there. He can handle the ball pretty fine and stuff like that. It's just the shot. If he can work on that, he'd be straight. But, Lonnie Walker, how many times on the show I've been kind of clamoring for a Lonnie Walker signing? It's like, it's like Darvin Ham couldn't quit Malik Beasley for some odd reason. I said, dog, if he ain't producing nothing for y'all, all right, rotate somebody else in. Either Lonnie or Max Christie, somebody. Even Troy Brown. I mean, still putting Troy Brown out there. He's great, fine defensively, but he's not making his open shots. So and then look, you put Lonnie in, 12 points off the bench, much needed scoring because Kuchamar, only bought you 5. But, if he ain't there, you got somebody else to pick up the slack, and that's what you need. You know what I'm saying? So, smart for Darvin Ham to do that, to put Lonnie Walker in. I think one thing he may have to consider, and maybe put somebody else on Klay Thompson to start the game, because Austin Reeves, he's kind of struggling with Klay Thompson. If y'all watching the game, it's just like he's not keeping up with Klay like he should. And I think if you got somebody there more tight defensively, I think things will go better for the Lakers. But defensively, I think Reeves is not working with him guarding Klay. In the last kind of 2 games, Saturday's game, the game before that, kind of showed that in my eyes. But, shout out to DeAndre Russell. Came out, had a great start to the game, played very well. Need that again for him if they're going to win tomorrow night's game. Real quick, I'll look at the Warriors side of things. Curry played pretty fine. Klay Thompson, he's in there worrying about the refs and calls and stuff like that, still trying to play ball. Him, Draymond, and Jamal Green sitting there worried about the refs and all that stuff. Just play ball, fellas. Play ball.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think, next game, if they do the lineup with Jamal Green in it, he's got to score better. It's like, if he don't score, they don't play him at all. And then Kevon Looney. Here's my thing, D-Lock, and with me in coaching, you got to shoot a free throw for me. You got to be a good free throw shooter, because I got to depend on you to score points. I don't like leaving empty points on the board. So I see Kevon Looney out there, and they really, really sagging off him. Like, dog, let me get the free throw line. Take a shot, man. Take a damn shot. You know what I'm saying? Shoot the ball. Keep the defense honest. If you were Draymond, it's like, it's damn near playing 3-on-5 against the Lakers. Now, granted, you got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry in the mix. So that helps, neglect and all that stuff. And if Jordan Poole wakes the hell up, you got somebody else to help with that. But, Poole, he's been very disappointing this playoff run. DiVincenzo, he's okay for what he is. Moody, I think, Steve Kerr starting to have a little bit more confidence in him. Should have been a long time ago, but you get my point. Gary Payton Jr. Gary Payton the second. He's fine what he is, but I think if they had to redo the trade deadline again, I think they'll pivot to get somebody else, like maybe like a big man somewhere like that, a veteran big man, and not bring him back. So, and then Kuminga, he had 10 points off the bench in limited time. So I don't know. It's just like Steve Kerr gotta find somebody behind Steph to kind of help with scoring. It should be Klay Thompson, but we shouldn't have to be pumping up Klay Thompson to be your number two. You shouldn't be like, come on Klay, we need you, baby, we need you. We shouldn't have to be doing all that for Klay Thompson. He's too established and been in the league too long for that type of fucking motivation. If we gotta do that D-Lock for Steph Klay Thompson, then the Warriors, they better stop getting plans for Puerto Rico and stuff like that.
Agreeing with you there. That's why, like I said, having a person to kind of maintain or contain Steph Curry is making it tough. Because now you have somebody that is kind of neutralizing one of your other weapons. And we know, as much as we like Klay Thompson, we see him take his three-point shot. He's not really too much of a shot creator. He's that person that needs that pick and roll, needs that, that the offense to go through. He's not going to generate his own shots like that too much. So, to your point, maybe you have to dial into getting Demachiso more involved. Jordan Poole needs to create more of his shots and start to play. These are the things that they have. Yeah, they paid Jordan Poole all that damn money, right?
Yeah.
At this point, we're talking about Jordan Poole getting money and Draymond not. Well, hell no, this is the time that you need Jordan Poole to come out and create those shots. We need it because clearly the Lakers have loaded up to where they are saying we're going to slow down Steph Curry. He's going to get his threes, but your ass ain't going to go out here and go 7 for 9. Because if you get heated, now we got you going and Klay Thompson going, there's a blowout. So they're gonna have to look at that bench, and Steve Kerr's gonna have to do some some searching to get these guys right. Starting Draymond at the 5, I think that may play a part. Andrew Wiggins is still there, but he needs to show more of a defensive presence because if that's all he's showing, the series could be over pretty soon.
Yeah, and we probably talk about more down the line, all season needs, but kind of felt like also around that trade deadline that you should have signed like a backup big or like a two-way big or something like that can keep the defense honest, something like that. Like a Taj Gibson, somebody like that can at least give you mid-range, be fine defensively. I think he's a free agent. But, somebody like him out there that could have given you good, solid minutes. I know he's older and stuff like that, but, I was thinking about this, like, damn. You should have signed somebody. Cut bait with some of these bench dudes you don't play, like, Anthony Lamb, for example. No shade to Anthony Lamb, but, what's he bringing? He's fine bench player for you, but what he bring? What is he gonna bring to you? In a playoff moment. So I just think like stuff like that. You cut bait with someone like him. Bring in Taj Gibson, for example. I think you feeling. I'd say feeling better about yourself going to the playoffs. But we'll see. But thank you for tuning in, Terry Rodriguez. Thank you. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, sir. But thank you for tuning in with us tonight. But I'll close with this. It's like, we'll see how tomorrow night goes. I think Curry is gonna be more. He's gonna be really, really motivated to come out and play. So I think that's one thing the Lakers got to really, like you said, put a cap on. Vanderbilt's got to be in his bag tomorrow night. Dennis Schroeder's got to be in his bag tomorrow night. No stupid stuff from Dennis Schroeder, because he'll play good one game and do some silly stuff next game. Who else got to be in that bag? D'Angelo Russell.
You can't have that. That's
Yeah.
the thing you can't have that. So
Yeah, I mean, you can't have that. And, and LeBron, you kind of need to score a little bit, buddy. In the first half, kind of set the tone. I mean, I know Anthony Davis should set the tone, but you got to, make your presence known out there to kind of keep them honest as well. So, if those things happen for the Lakers, cool. For the Warriors, Steph got come out playing straight. Klay Thompson, Draymond, can't worry about the refs. I know that's hard for him not to do, but he can't worry about the refs. And like you mentioned about Wiggins, he got to be playing lights out as well. And Jordan Poole, too, was like, I don't have the stats in front of me, but he can't be averaging less than 10 points in his playoff run. I could be wrong about that, but
I think the series is gonna be one that, and this is a hell of a series, man. I feel like this is gonna be one of the series that we, talk about but move past because it's not an NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be one that we'll continue to talk about. But I think that for the Warriors to stay competitive in this series, they're gonna need their other guys to get going. Jordan Poole's gonna have to wake up. Dennis Schroeder is gonna have to get rolling, and they gotta find a way to continue to put the tempo they were prior to Steph being ice cold. I don't think it's gonna be ice cold. I just think that the efficient Steph that we've been seeing all year long, I don't think we see that in every game moving forward. I think there are gonna be games where he's gonna be neutralized, and the Lakers are gonna capitalize on that. But Jordan Poole is gonna have to, find a way to get his points. D'Angelo Russell is coming in. That's why I said that trade was a big ass deal for the Lakers. You go get D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt. You read that whole roster.
yeah,
You got guys that can score. At first, in the beginning of the season, it was just Anthony Davidson and LeBron. That's what they really leaned on. But now it's at this point to where you can go a game where LeBron is scoring the first quarter and find a way to get everybody, keep the game close. You couldn't do that before. And now the fact that the Lakers can do that, the rest of the league is in trouble. Because what makes Denver Nuggets a threat is their bench, the rotational guys that they have around Jokic. What made Milwaukee a threat was their bench, the guys that they rotate. What makes Boston somewhere a threat is the few guys that they have, but they're loaded up at that front five. So the Lakers have those things now. In order to match them, I think the Warriors are going to have to come out and they're going to have to score without a Steph. This is going to be that series. If you do that without a Steph, then you have a chance. I think you're fine outside of that, but I think Darvingham and those guys in LA, they're prepping for a series like this to make sure they neutralize a top 75 player, Steph Curry.
yeah, I agree with you there. Real quick before we get out of here, the Knicks Miami series, Jimmy Butler came back game 3, really kind of helped propel the Heat in that matchup. Really blown. They blown out the Knicks in that game. They play again Monday. Does New York tie it up 2-2, or with Jimmy Butler back in the fold, do the Heat kind of take over this series? You think so?
Yeah, man. I mean, I like the Knicks, but the Heat with that culture, Jimmy Butler is going to be Jimmy Butler. I know they're down, guys and Tyler Hero and the other guys, but I don't think the Knicks can compete with them, man. I think that team is too talented, and I like what the Heat can do when they have that momentum. The Knicks are gonna bring some comp. I like Jalen Brunson, and I like what those guys can do, but do this over. I don't see them beating. I don't see them beating Miami. I don't see it. That's just not. Now, this was game was in New York. Okay, we're having a different conversation, but nah, you mess around and let Miami win a game in New York, it's done. I mean, right now, I think that they're gonna get this next win. They're going to put a lot of pressure in the next game, and they're going to finish it in 6. I think Miami's going to finish it in 6 because if they win the next game in New York, there's no way in hell Miami leaves Miami without a win. There's no way it goes to 7. So, like I said, I think that Miami gets his next win. Jimmy Butler is gonna cook in that culture, and they're gonna finish it off. But what makes it so bad is I don't see either one of these teams right now going to the NBA Finals.
Real quick for me, I think with Butler back in the fold, I think they got the potential to kind of close the series out. Game 2 was like very close, in New York. And that's without Jimmy Butler. And, thanks to like a referee gaffe that happened in Game 2, I think they kind of swung the momentum in that game. I think now, they kind of swung it in the Knicks' favor. Now, you go into this last game, Butler played great. Randall didn't play his best. I still understand why he's jacking up 3-pointers like he's Ray Allen or somebody like that. Brunson, not his best effort. And, Mitchell Robinson, he was in foul trouble. They didn't play him much. Hartenstein got the most minutes, but he didn't bring you no damn scoring either. So, for New York to win this game, Brunson's got to be in his bag. Randall's got to be in his bag. He got to drive the lane and stuff like that because, think about this. Besides Antonio, ain't no really guy defensively, big man-wise, to scare me. Kevin Love, kind of, past that prime. Zeller, kind of past that prime. So after that, yeah, you got Butler there, but after that, Julius Randle should be dominating. But for some reason not. He's really, really not so far in this playoff series. So if he can, dominate down low, get Bam Adebayo in foul trouble, make them play Cody Zeller more, I think they'll go in favor for the Knicks. But it seems like that's asking a lot for Julius Randle for some odd reason. But I got Miami winning tomorrow night. I think Jimmy Butler, after that Game 2 loss, the shot of him on the sideline, motivated and stuff like that. And I think I'm saying right here on the live right now, I think he wants to close this game out in the Garden. The series out in the Garden. I think he wants that Garden moment to put the Knicks home and send those New Yorkers home unhappy. I think he wants to do that. And that'll be a fun thing to watch. You know, come Wednesday, to watch the Heat trying to put out the Knicks in the Garden. And I think Jimmy Butler he's gonna have a field day. That'd be must see TV right there.
Yeah. And it would. That'd be tough right there. That would be big time. Spike Lee there. Tracy Morgan. So I can see it. I don't think the Knicks will go away either. I just think that I think that game is going to be one that we won. And if that does happen, I think Jimmy Butler has one of those 35 plus, maybe 10 assist type games, 10 rebound games, one of them crazy games that you have in away dark. But that sounds like the plan that he has big time, especially with playing a lot of their area.
So, I got Miami win tomorrow night. I got going with the Lakers tomorrow night. But one surprised me, like if a motivated Steph propelled them to a game 4 win. And then before we get out of here, to touch on the Phoenix Denver game halftime. Phoenix is up 2 points, 63-61 on the Denver Nuggets. I know we ain't talking about Mike Budenholzer getting fired. Real quick, what are your thoughts on Budenholzer getting fired from the Bucks?
That is the most shocking thing that I've seen in the past 14 days. We just seen that Giannis talking about how there's not a failure that they got booted out the first round, and then this happens. To me, that was a shocker, man. I just did not expect that of all things. In fact, they just won the NBA Finals, which Milwaukee hasn't done in years. And for them to be close last year, knowing that they lost this year, then the fact that Giannis was hurt, that was definitely a big time shock to them.
Just real quick for me, it's just like I understand it to a degree, but as we kind of found out, his brother, has passed away in the midst of that playoff series against the Heat. So you compound that and all that stuff. That's a lot going on right there. Yeah, I understand business is business, but kind of like the optics of it is like kind of like really. And some people try to bring up the Frank Vogel thing. Like, here's the thing with Vogel. It's just like he didn't really help maintain it. Now, granted, Anthony Davis, LeBron, injuries didn't help, but it's just like even with those guys there, you really didn't capitalize on that. Budenholzer, the consistency is still there. At times you didn't have Chris Middleton, but you still kept things there. I'll give him at least one more year. In my eyes, I don't know who they're going to target. I don't know who's out there to target to take over this team. It's gonna be real interesting who they hire for that job. Do they bring in Mark Jackson, Kenny Atkinson, assistant coach for the Warriors? Does he get brought in? What's his name? Got fired from Toronto. Nick Nurse.
Yeah.
You got him the options, so the spot was big and what people did. So I think that
That's a hot ass job, though, man.
Yeah, it's a hot ass job. You know, and somebody's bound to get it. We just don't know who yet. You know, it's gonna be real to see who they going after and whatnot to take over that job. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us. Lots of great talking, you know, depth about these playoffs and all that stuff. You know, we saw Hunter Dickinson, former big man for Michigan, transferred to Kansas this past weekend. So a good get for Kansas, and probably like propelled them in preseason poll for the top 5, and probably title favorites for the next upcoming season. So a good get for Kansas there. LSU women's basketball, they're doing their stuff. They killing the portal, and I think in between them and South Carolina, if you put Vegas odds on women's college basketball to win a championship, then you're good to put your money between one or two teams, and throwing UConn as well, and maybe Iowa as well. But that's like a lower odds compared to the other two I just named right there at the top. But all that going on, D-Lock, how can people find you on social media?
You guys find me at Black-813. A lot of stuff going on right now in the NBA, so I'll definitely be tweeting about that, especially with the Lakers and the Nuggets and Phoenix game going on at the moment. So let them know they can find you and the show's page.
You can find the show's page at Twitter at FastBreakIESR. That is Twitter at FastBreakIESR. Do follow iSportsRadio.com for your latest shows, news, and feeds. Do follow iSports Radio on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Find us there anywhere. Do follow me on Twitter at Spawn4288. That's Spawn4288. Also, I do never show on the side called The Crooks Process. You can find me on that show on Instagram and Facebook. You see the CP logo in the profile pic. My shows are now on Spotify. So The Crooks Process is on Spotify. So do be on the lookout for that. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in with us. We'll be back next week. A lot of action going on in the NBA playoffs this week, because some series close out. Come next week. We'll discuss that. And also, I do want to forgot about this before we got the air. Condolences to Nicholas Gilbert, son of Dan Gilbert for the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you don't know about Nicholas Gilbert, he was the son that always represented them in the draft lottery and all that. As a good luck charm, and he passed away this past weekend, either late Friday night or early Saturday morning. But we do want to send those condolences out to the Gilbert family in their grieving process right now. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to y'all next week and talk about NBA playoffs. So until then, talk to y'all later. Peace.